So let's jump into the top 100. In my previous video, we talked a little bit about the honorable mentions, some games I thought could have been on this list or I thought would be on this list but didn't quite make the cut. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching and commenting, and getting that feedback from you guys really, motivates me to keep going forward, and I really appreciate that. Those that subscribed, I appreciate that. If you're watching this for the first time and haven't subscribed, please do. It helps out the channel. It's a click of the button, and you can be updated when we do additional videos. Now, top 100. Let's talk about this. Easia. This is a game I haven't played a tremendous amount. I think if I played it more, it might go up. Mike Peterson and I played this at BGG Con last year for the first time. It was something I wanted to get to the table. I had for a long time. I heard great things about it, never played it. And it's interesting because you're going down this path and you want to go down further because there's better stuff. And once you go, you skip it, right? And you can't go back on the trail. So there's a little bit of cat and mouse about, because you could go 1, 1, 1 and take everything, but it may not be what you need. That's not gonna maximize your points to win the game. I don't think you're gonna win that game that way unless somebody just makes a stupid decision and goes way too far. So Easia is an old one. I recommend you checking it out and taking a look at that one. Another one is Glass Road. Now this is a 2-player game for me that I play. I think it's very easy to play and very easy to teach. Now, one of the great things that's going on in this game, it's one of those Uwe Rosenberg games. He's one of my favorite designers. You're going to see him on this list again. But what's great is I play a card, and if you play it, I get less stuff. So now I got to think about, do I really need this? Because I think you need it too. Versus, there's no way you're picking this. It'll give me more stuff, but do I need that stuff? I really, really like that. This is one of those games that I was kind of torn on being in my top 100. But I think as a 2-player game, I really enjoy it enough where I keep going back to it. Number 98, Grand Austria Hotel. Now this is a newer one for me on the list. This is one of those games where you roll the die and you have to do the best with it. And you're kind of serving dinner down here and you have hotel rooms up here. It has just enough to keep me interested. And I really like Grand Austria Hotel. I look forward to playing this more. And there's so many good games above this. But I think if I played it more, it would be higher on the list. Grand Austria Hotel. My number 7 is Cuba. Now this game has a little nostalgia to me. When I first started gaming, Cuba was one of those first games that I played that just really brought me into the hobby. It wasn't the first where Power Grid was out, but Cuba was one of those games that my friends and I and my wife really, really super enjoyed. It's what I haven't gone back to as much. The last time I played it, it didn't go over as well. This is a game I could see maybe falling off the list next time, that maybe I've developed further, evolved a little bit my gaming taste, but it still holds a part, like a hole in my heart because I like it so much and I want to keep Cuba around. Now Cuba, I think, is one of the best gateway games going. If you're looking for a gateway game but you want to get off the beaten path, get away from Carcassonne and Ticket to Ride, and you're looking for something a little bit different that people might really enjoy, try Cuba out. They have it, Santiago de Cuba, which is an even lighter version of it. But Cuba, I think, is probably the better game. Although Santiago de Cuba is a really good app. So Cuba. Number 96, Sentinels of the Multiverse. Now, this is a game that I played a lot more on the app than I have in person. Now, one thing I like about this game as a superhero game is that I am one superhero. And I have my own deck that I'm going through. And the superheroes do feel differently when you're playing them. Now, this game has a lot of expansions and a lot of cards you can add into the game. I like that variety. Now, this is a game that relies heavily on variety. You will need, if you're going to get the base game, you're going to play it a lot, or the app, you're going to need to move into some of the expansions because you want to try the different superheroes, how they work together, how they work against this villain, and certain superheroes will work better against certain villains and environments than other ones, and you need to, part of the game is putting that together. I like to randomize it, to be honest. I just kind of like to see what I can do with who against who. It's really fun. I guess I play it a lot more on the app now, but it is a card game. It's just hard to get all those cards out. Number 95 is Ticket to Ride. Now, if my wife was doing this list, this would be much higher. I like this game. It wasn't my gateway game, although I've used it quite a few times. It's as a gateway game. It's a little too simplistic to me at this point. This is a game I can see coming off the list. It probably moved up a little bit because of the historical factor of it, how it is one of the gaming games. I mean, if this could replace Monopoly on a shelf, most gamers would be happy about that. I think more people would come into the hobby if they were starting with this game as opposed to Monopoly. And I think generations going forward, that very well may be the case. This game's in Target, it's in Walmart. People are picking this up and playing with it. I think this game has that transition ability to be added to that Scrabble, Taboo, Monopoly, Life, that kind of circle. So take it to ride. 94. Now, I've only played this once or twice. It's Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. It is phenomenal. Now, I played the 1st edition, which is why I was comfortable putting this on this list. But the use of the app is phenomenal for telling this story. I like the randomness of it. I like how it takes care of a lot of the bookkeeping. I wish it had more boards, and over time it will. But what I'm given right now is enough for me in my experience, and I'm enjoying this one quite a bit. It's got the Cthulhu theme, which is getting a little old, but I still enjoy it. It's a horror theme that's free for developers to use, so I'm okay with that, and I like seeing it. So Mansions of Madness, it's a game I need to play more so it could go up or down. I wasn't comfortable putting it too high because it's so new and I haven't played it enough, but I feel comfortable where it's at. 93, Kemet. It's a really fun little area control game where you have powers on the side that you can kind of upgrade yourself and get these powers as you're going through. And these mythological powers that you have will help the board. So when you're first starting out, it's really easy just to kind of think, this is how you play. Oh, I'm going to buy this power. Now I have this extra rule in front of me. Buy this other one. Now I have this extra rule. The first time I'm playing, if I was playing with, maybe non-gamers or never played before, I would tell them, don't memorize, don't try to read every single thing, just go with the flow and learn some powers. But that's Kemet. 92 is Istanbul. This is a really fun little game where you're kind of moving your piece around. Monopoly, you're trying to be the most efficient with your actions and where you're laying people off at. Get this, turn into this, which is points to win the game. This is probably a good gateway game, although it can be a little bit overwhelming at first. Although I think over time that I'll get tired of this game and it'll move down a little bit. But for now, I'm still enjoying playing it. 91, Ora et Labora. I love Uwe Rosenberg games. We're going to get a clue into this pretty soon. But this is a really neat one where you kind of have these rondels, if you will, that are moving. You're moving around these rondels to get more and more goods. It kind of is your classic game of taking a good, transforming into something else to get victory points. But I really enjoy those type of games. I haven't played this one enough to get a real feel for it. But what I have played, I really, really like. Now, it's not my top 25, 50 games, so maybe I don't love it that much, but I really like it. And so it's going to make 91 on this list. Well, that's my 100 through 91. I hope that you found some games maybe you never heard of, or maybe you agree with me or disagree. Make some comments down there. I'd like to really interact and see what you guys think about these games that I've put on this list. I also ask everyone to please subscribe to the channel. It really helps things out and helps move the channel forward. Right now, we're trying to get up to 500 subscribers. Right now, we're sitting in the 470s. So with a little bit of help, we can get over that burden real quickly. Thank you, and I'll see you guys for the next video.